Bismillah ar-Rahman ar-Rahim. Hello, people, and welcome to Footy Judge Mo. Rodrygo to City changes everything, but does it though? If Liverpool get Isak, the bid for Isak incoming, are there worrying signs from Liverpool yesterday, or it is just a friendly? Gyokeres have arrived. He scored a goal. I think he's going to score buckets. We'll talk about that as well. And Chelsea are the dark horses of the... Why did he take off the shirt?
Who, me? I didn't want to put you lads to shame with my massive guns, did I? You know what I mean?
It's okay. It's all right. It's all right.
That's about the size of my leg, for God's sake.
How's everyone doing? We got Tom back on the channel, guys. We got Tom back on the channel. He's brave. He's showing
his new haircut as well, Mo. He's going for the curtains vibe.
Oh, no, it's still there.
Yeah, after Liverpool lost yesterday, of course. Where do we start? We start with City, or we start with Liverpool lost yesterday, and Liverpool need a center back. Liverpool are gonna bid for Isak. Hit that like button, guys. If you're watching this here now, let's get the likes up. There's only 25 likes, and we're at 200 people. And if you're new to the channel, subscribe. Of course, we're on the way. We're actually less than 400 subs to 40K. So hit that like button and subscribe, people. Sorry, I just woke up and I played football yesterday for the first time in 7 months. I got recognized in football here in America, believe it or not. Yeah, believe it or not. I think we should start with Liverpool. We'll talk about the City Rodrygo thing. I think we should start with Liverpool yesterday. And there's a lot of people now that are saying that Liverpool are showing cracks. They're not as formidable as people think. Like the game. Hussam releasing a video saying it's just a friendly. Sam looks hurt in that video. I know that for sure. He looks hurt that he's lost. So what are we saying?
I was going to say the best part of the Hussam thing is look at the contrast between Liverpool's first goal and then after the game ended. Like obviously when Ekitike scored, the excitement in his face, the sort of elation and like so on and so forth. And then by the time the game ends, it's just a friendly. It doesn't really matter. It's just interesting sometimes just to watch that.
Yeah. You know what? I was buzzing for Palace because for them, it'll feel like a major. I know that sounds mad, right? But they've won like 2 trophies in as many. I was just buzzing, to be fair. From a Liverpool perspective, I don't know. Again, maybe it's just because they're friendly, and probably we say this every summer, but Salah wasn't as effective or especially wasn't involved in the first half anyway, for sure. And obviously it's a brand new attack, but I thought Ekitike took his goal well after like 7 minutes. Yeah, such a good finish. Wirtz was involved in that as well, and I was like, okay. Yeah, he missed a
You know,
couple more as well, didn't he?
Wirtz is very controversial. Some people are saying Wirtz was so bad, were like average, not bad. He was average. Some people saying Wirtz was brilliant.
Because you know why? Because social media has these standards. Like, so he has to put up, a G&A in every game, which he did, by the way. And if not, he's bad and he's a waste of money. That's the world that we live in, unfortunately. But I thought he had a good game. I don't think I look at that and go, whoa. But Salah, Konate got caught a couple of times, didn't he? Van Dijk with the penalty. I thought that was poor by him, by his standards anyway. Normally, he don't even bother making that channel. I thought Wharton was gravy. I love that player. Yeah, I enjoyed it, me. It was a Carabao. It was a Charity Shield game. I
Very
actually
competitive.
enjoyed it.
Very
It was
competitive, actually.
Exactly. It was competitive.
I liked it. I liked
Yeah,
it.
same.
I don't think that you know what happened in the game is exactly how it's going to happen in the season in terms of like Liverpool are going to be all out attack. They have so many attacking players. It is all about how Van Dijk and Konate play. It's all what it's about. Are they going to concede goal? Liverpool are going to score goals in every game. I don't think that there's going to be a game where Liverpool don't score goals. That is my opinion. It's all about the defense. Arne Slot is going for the all-out attack thing. All out. He's attacking fullbacks, Frimpong, winger. Gyökeres, high on the pitch.
Can I say something though? But isn't it? Because I've thought about this from last year, and I don't mean it in a disrespectful way, but I always thought that this Liverpool team were more gettable than other Liverpool teams. So I always compared to Klopp's team that won the league. That team felt like it could suffocate you, and that was an all-out attacking team, right? But it just felt like it was wave after wave, continuous just pressure. Like I remember they'll come to like the Emirates and just absolutely suffocate us. Then we'll go to Anfield, it was even worse. I kind of feel this Liverpool team isn't that version, and I think there is an attacking element within this team, but I don't always feel like they are as dominant as that other team. And I think that last season there were games where I thought if we went a slightly different way, and you can say that about any game to be honest, but if we went a slightly different way, a team could have got a result, whether it was a draw or a win, right? So I think like I don't think Liverpool fans should be worried because I think one, the team has proven that they can win the league. They've proven they can go to something like a quarterfinals of a Champions League. But I still feel like I don't think when people talk about this Liverpool team as being just overwhelming favourites, that it's a fair thing to say because I think they could be beaten by on the day they could be beaten.
And that is the point. Yesterday, and Tom hasn't spoken yet. Yesterday, it's like the tone has changed from a lot of rivals about yesterday.
I've been saying this last year.
They were they were heavily favorites. If they sign Isak, it's all over. It's done. And I said that as well. I think they walk the league if they sign Isak. But watching the game yesterday, is it going to all gel together? The positioning, for example, I'm just going to give you an example. Robertson and Van Dijk have played together for years, since January of 2018. Now you add a new fullback. That is good. He looks very good, but he doesn't have the same chemistry. Frimpong and Konate, recovery pace is fantastic. But is it something that you can just sit and say, it might take a little bit of time for them to know the positioning of each other? It's where are they? The offside, the second goal, Gyökeres was like 5-6 yards ahead of Van Dijk. Is it a Van Dijk fault? Or Van Dijk should have known that Gyökeres is not Robertson or that is what I'm asking. Is this Liverpool team going to take time for them to gel and that leave room for the likes of Chelsea, the likes of Man City, the likes of Arsenal, who are already together for years? I know City have new players, but like even City new players are coming from last January. They already spent 6 months together. Even Kuzanov, even Marmoush. And that is a question that rivals have asked yesterday. Is it going to take time? Is it going to take time for you to actually play the scintillating football that you played last season? Is it hope as well? Is it others hoping that Liverpool don't look as good as they think because they want to feel good about their team? They want to feel good about the title race? That is what I want to ask. Tom, do you think this team is going to take a bit? He muted himself and he never unmuted himself.
Not necessarily. I think that it's a case of yesterday we played without our first choice midfield, which I think was a big sort of thing. I know that people have been very big on Szoboszlai in pre-season. I've maintained throughout the whole thing that you're not going to replace McAllister or Gravenberch in there because what they do is too important. And once again, we saw yesterday we were too easy to play through in the midfield because neither Jones or Szoboszlai read the game well enough defensively to intercept the passes. So too many times, Wharton especially was able to just ping the ball straight up to Mateta. And they were able to bypass the midfield time and time again. I think when we were attacking yesterday, we had multiple very bright moments. I think the only thing that might take a little bit of time is the team figuring out who to play through attacking wise. I think that there'll be some games where we need to go through Salah. There'll be some games where we need to go through Wirtz. I think yesterday we went a lot through Wirtz and not all that much through Salah. That's just about balance. At the end of the day, you want to have these options available to you. At the end of the day, if Virgil van Dijk doesn't make two mistakes, which he very rarely, if ever, does, Liverpool Football Club win that game. And everyone's talking about this very differently. So I'm not panicking over what I saw yesterday. I think that there's stuff that I can see. I think we need to hurry up and get Isak through the door. Not necessarily because Ekitike was bad, but we really struggled when Ekitike went off and we didn't have a striker on the pitch because we couldn't play up to anyone. And Palace used that to push forwards and pin us back at points. So look, if I'm not stressing out yet, I'm not panicking. I'm not one of these ones who's saying we need 6 signings to run the window, otherwise it's going to be, the season's over, whatever it is. Palace done well, it is what it is, but I think that we'll turn it up another level or two once we get the first choice midfielders back and we're playing in the Premier League. So I'm not, like I said, I'm not too stressed out yet. And the funniest thing from yesterday is, this shows why we need a new centre-back. Sure, Liverpool need a new centre-back, but I ask every single one on this panel, I ask every single one in the comments who says this thing, if we had Mark Gahey available yesterday, what back two were you going with? What 2 centre-backs were you going to pick? You were going to pick Konate and Van Dijk. You wouldn't have went, let's play Gahey today. No, the first choice back line is Konate and Van Dijk. It's not like one of them wasn't available yesterday, albeit Van Dijk was a bit ill, but it's not like he wasn't available. So again, this notion that
they'll do, Tom, they won't play Van Dijk and Gahey then.
They will do, but it won't. I go on those. If I had the Champions League final tomorrow and I had to pick my best 11, it's not Mark Gahey in there. It's Van Dijk and Konate. So
Surely they're not buying him to back up. I don't see it. Maybe that might be your opinion, but I don't think that's Slot's opinion.
It's not. I think the Gahey will rotate a fair amount with Konate because Konate gets an injury every now and then, and you need to try and keep him fit. But in terms of Liverpool's strongest 11, Gahey doesn't make Liverpool's strongest 11.
I disagree.
I don't think he's better than Konate. I think he's a very good centre-back, but I don't think he's better than Konate. Certainly not in a partnership with Van Dijk, because I know what Konate gives me in that partnership. I don't necessarily know what Gahey's going to give me yet. Now, Gahey could come in and prove me wrong, and I'm back on the show talking to you going, yeah, you were right, Gahey is right there, and I know how good the defender he is, but my only slight concern with Gahey is he defends like Van Dijk, and we can't have 2 Van Dijk-like defenders in the back line. It's too passive. We need someone.
But let me tell you why you need Gahey. It's not only because of the starting 11. You're going in 4 competitions at least. My thing about the way you play, and I was speaking yesterday with Jerry about this, and Mike, they were saying that we agreed that Liverpool play a style of football that is so attacking now with the fullbacks and the midfield, and having Wirtz is different than having Szoboszlai as the 10 because you're attacking, you're pressing high. It's so reliant on your 2 center backs being arguably one of the best players on the pitch.
No, it's not.
You are so high that if your 2 center backs, if one of them drops on in form, it goes to shit, which is what happened yesterday with Van Dijk. Van Dijk, as you said, made mistakes.
Yesterday was a different problem. Van Dijk wasn't great yesterday, but yesterday, if Liverpool Football Club can play Alexis McAllister and Ryan Gravenberch in the pivot instead of Dominic Szoboszlai and Curtis Jones, a lot of the Palace attacks stop before they can get going. A lot of the counter-attacks stop before they get going because McAllister and Gravenberch read the game much better than Szoboszlai and Jones. Szoboszlai and Jones, I think Szoboszlai played all 90, Curtis Jones played, I think, 70.
Yep.
Combined, they made 1 interception. For my pivot, to play all that time for the way Palace were playing through us, for my pivot to make one interception combined isn't good enough.
But still in transition, only Gravenberch is quick. McAllister is not that quick.
It's not
And
about
Wirtz is high.
it's not about quickness though. This is the thing which is
It's about reading the game, you mean?
McAllister has never been a problem in transition against teams like Palace, because the only time he's a problem in transition is
He has 2 years ago when he played by himself in the DM.
2 years ago in an entirely different system where he was left on his own at DM because we played Soberslai and Elliott that game. So he had no one else. Now you'd be putting him alongside Gravenberch for one. He has a left back because he'd typically play on the left. The left back is a lot more restricted than the right back is. So Gyökeres, you watched yesterday, he doesn't bomb on anywhere near as much. And I'm not saying he doesn't bomb on, but he doesn't bomb on to the same level that Frimpong does. So he's there as cover as well. McAllister's only problem in transition is if someone quick runs at him, he can get ran past. But McAllister is much better at reading the game to intercept. He's much better at a tackle. He's much better in a duel. And he's much better at passing out under pressure. Everything that we were getting caught on yesterday. So we missed what McAllister was. We missed.
But you're not going to play McAllister and Gravenberch every game. That doesn't work like this.
I don't need to play them every game, but I need at least one of them in there. I can't do Soberslai and Jones again because it's not good enough defensively.
Yeah,
I have no problem with how we set up. I understand that we're probably going to be slightly worse defensively this year because we're committing a couple more players going forwards. And I get why we're doing that, because if we can score 30, 35 more goals, but concede 5 to 10 more, that's a trade-off I'm willing to make. Because what I know the whole saying is attack wins your games, defense wins your titles. If you attack and score over 100 goals, you'll be fine most of the time anyway if your defense isn't the best in the league. So I understand that we might be a little bit more open defensively as a trade-off to being one of the best attacking teams on the planet. But I don't think that yesterday is a case of Liverpool, all the weaknesses were exposed, all this, that, and the other. I think a lot of these problems that people are jumping on from yesterday get fixed if I put me preferred DM options in, because they are defensively much better than what I've got there. Soberslai is a very good runner. He's very good at defending for a 10. Because when you're defending as a 10, it's a lot of running, it's a lot of chasing around, it's a lot of putting players who don't want the ball under pressure. That's not what it's like to play at DM, and that's where Soberslai struggled yesterday, and that's where Jones struggles.
Yeah, the thing about it, that it's watching the game yesterday. Maybe that's not your first midfield to play, but listen, I'm just looking at this as like, I'm not sure if it's a clear cut as we see it as Liverpool now gonna be like same continuation of last season. I know you upgraded probably on Robertson and Gyökeres, but he's good, but he's not like phenomenal. Gyökeres, like I watch Frimpong is very good going forward. Positioning at the back is kind of a little bit iffy. I still think you need a centre back in case one of Konati and Gay only get injured.
We need a centre back 100%, but it's not like the centre back's coming in to drastically change how my back line's going to play. Because we just
but it's depth. We talk about depth for Arsenal, for Chelsea.
I know we need the depth. I know we need the depth, but the whole thing of yesterday shows why we need a centre back. No, it doesn't, because I wouldn't have played him anyway. Because I had my first choice available.
I still think
the striker point makes sense, but the centre back one, I wouldn't have played Mark Gay.
I still think Liverpool are favourites, but I think your attackers, as you say, they have 3 attackers plus Chiesa.
Can I ask a question, though? So the problem sometimes is we look at things very binary when we talk about bringing in additional players, right? And as an Arsenal fan, I think we are very guilty of doing this, where you go, well, if this player comes in, we're not going to play them, right? So we shouldn't get them in. When the reality is that it's not just a case of injuries, but it's also pushing the players that you have currently playing to continue playing at a level, right? Because, listen, no matter what, what's his name? I forgot the boxer who said it's hard to go for running early in the morning when you're waking up in pilch. You're sleeping on. I can't get the quote right. Basically, if you get too comfortable, right, after winning, it's easy to get too comfortable, and you don't want a situation where you have a team when, yes, they've won, but it doesn't feel like they just know they're automatically the best, because ultimately as a Liverpool fan and as any fan of any team, you want players to come in and push the team that you currently have right now. And so when people, I don't look at it as a weakness per se in terms of that Liverpool got a weakness in the centre back position, because obviously Van Dijk is a world class and has been a world class player for a long time. Everyone knows Konate is a great player, but at the same time, you don't want them to be the levels to drop and not have someone who can take, if that levels drop, someone who can then replace them through the season. Because I mean, yeah, it takes a couple of bad games and you're behind.
Yeah, 100%. We need a centre back. I just don't think that yesterday was a game where it was like, oh, you didn't win because you didn't have that centre back. I don't think that was the case. I don't think we won that game. We got Gahey because I wouldn't have played him.
Oh, now it's popular to question Liverpool. He's always ahead. Yeah, there are people that are questioning Liverpool, and the problem. Liverpool fans are so confident. And
so I've got to get a quote right. So it was Marvin Hagler, and he said it's hard to wake up at 5 a.m. and run 5 miles when you're sleeping in silk pajamas. That was the quote he said, and he was a boxer, and he was just talking about how becoming champion can make you complacent, and that's why you always need to be pushing yourself. So yeah, I got a quote. I butchered the quote, but yeah.
You know what? Like a bigger place for the Super Chat. But you know what? The thing about it, that Liverpool are still favorites, because I don't think the likes of City and Arsenal have drastically improved. And if Liverpool buy Isak, they have drastically improved. Like, it is a massive improvement over the rest of the teams. Like, Wirtz is a massive improvement in the 10. I think in the right back, Frimpong is very, very good going forward. Gyökeres with Robertson, he's better than Robertson. Liverpool have improved massively, like massively improved. Do we think like the others have improved to the point that they can overtake them? As of now, I don't think so. I don't think anyone on paper can take on Liverpool. Anyone. Nobody in the league. Even City, when they signed Rodrygo now, with Rodri being injured, even with all the problems that we're talking about for Liverpool, I don't think anyone is now in a place where they can say, nope, we're better than this team and we will beat them to the league title. Everyone is saying, hoping that Liverpool will fall off.
I don't believe in that.
What, do you believe your team improved more than Liverpool?
I don't. Again, I think that's too binary a way of looking at it. I just think that when the game is played, we'll see the results of how good the teams are. I think, as constructed, Liverpool have got a great team, good enough to win the league. Arsenal got a team good enough to win the league. City have got a team good enough to win the league. And Chelsea, who I had so much doubt about last season, have got a team good enough to win. It's all about putting it all together during the season, because if we talk about last season, we would have said Liverpool are not better than Man City and Arsenal at the start of the season, but they put it together and they won the league at a canter, right? When Leicester won the league, no one would have said at the start of the season, which is why the odds were so massive.
This is not going to be a Leicester season again. This is not going to be Leeds are not coming to win the league.
No, you missed the point.
Leicester season.
The point I'm trying to make is that
we will be there. We will be there.
The point I'm trying to make is that teams, like, we can look on paper what teams look like, but you still have to put it together, right? And I think that the 4 teams there all have different chances of winning the league, but I wouldn't be surprised if any of those 4 teams win it. I don't think I just don't think that it's as simple and as easy as just this, because by that logic, Man City should constantly win the league, because the past 4 years they kept winning it, but we saw a massive drop off from the highs to massive lows relative for them last season.
What do you think, Dan?
Do you know what it is more like?
Right,
football's so reactionary. Like, before a ball's kicked yesterday, Liverpool are walking the league. 90 minutes later, question marks. To give you an example, I'm big on fantasy Premier League, right?
Yeah.
Mo Salah had an ownership of 70%. After yesterday's game, he's now got less than Cole Palmer, and Cole Palmer's got 55. So he's dropped like 25% ownership in fantasy Premier League just off 90 minutes. I'm also one of them who's took him out and replaced him with Ekitike and Wirtz, because football's reactionary, right? And I know that's like, fantasy football, but it gives you an example of how quick decisions can be made based on 190 minutes. I still think Liverpool are the favourites, with or without Isak. Because I saw enough from Ekitike. I thought he was decent.
Yeah, but they don't have enough. They don't have enough to go 38 games and the Champions League. They have Salah, Ekitike, Gakpo only. Without Isak, You have no depth.
Yeah, fair enough. Okay, that's a fair argument.
That's
to
a
make.
massive point.
Yeah.
Like, injuries is part of football. If one of them drops in form or get injured or drop, they have no striker, and they don't even have the Diaz's now to play up top.
But who right in competition then? Who would you say is their so you think then because Arsenal have depth in them areas, but their
Starting
issues at
11,
left
Liverpool
wing-
are phenomenal, Joe. Starting 11, Liverpool are phenomenal.
Yes.
Depth-wise, Arsenal, it doesn't matter how bad you think the players are at Arsenal. Arsenal have 6 or 7 forwards that can like exchange positions. Chelsea have 6 forwards as well. City, if they get Rodrygo, with this Foden, Shirky, Marmoush, Doku, Haaland, if they get Rodrygo as well.
Not enough said about him, by the way. But because I get so pissed, because I love Bukayo Saka, right? And the amount of hate that guy gets. Where is Phil Foden? When is he gonna be this star boy that we were told season after season after season? He is on fraud watch this season. Foden,
he won player of the season already once.
Foden, best do something this season. Okay, again, reaction. Last season he was gone. We need to see something from Foden this year, by the way. Just putting it out there because I get annoyed that he seems to get away with it comparative to other players. I had people saying, "Oh, Palmer last season, oh, he's fallen off a bit." Blah, 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 blah. It's always the case with Foden. Always the case with Foden, but he seems to get by. I don't know why this is, but anyway.
We'll talk about it in a bit. I just want to go back to Salah's conversation, Tom, about yesterday, and the people that say that Salah is not going to be the same and all the stuff that is happening.
I've heard the same thing for 9 fucking years now. Everyone goes into the start of the season. He's not going to be good. He's not going to be this. He's not going to be that. And then 10 games into the season, who's scored the most goals? Who's got the most assists? Who's favourite for player of the year? I know he had a shit game yesterday. I don't really give a shit. All I know is that by game week 3 or game week 4, he'll have scored in most games. He'll have assisted in most games. And Liverpool will be winning most games because he is as good as he is. We didn't play to him yesterday. That's a stone cold matter of fact. We didn't play to him. Normally, in pre-season, everything, and even last season, the whole point was Liverpool Football Club are set up to give the ball to Mohamed Salah and then have everyone else run around him and let Salah make the decision on what he's going to do, whether he's going to pass, whether he's going to shoot, whether he's going to lay it off, whether he's going to run, whatever. We still did that in pre-season against Bilbao at home.
Yeah, I saw against Bilbao. He was amazing.
He ran the show. We didn't play to him yesterday. Now, I don't know why we didn't play to him yesterday, but we just didn't play to him yesterday. Can't expect him to be a world beast if he's not getting the fucking ball. He had the ball about 3 times in that first half. Nothing we can do about that. I think a lot of that changes when we get the pivot in there because they can pass the ball, they can beat the press, they can force the ball through the gaps. And I think a bit will change as well when Alexander Isak comes in through the door because Alexander Isak...
He's still...
He's better than as good as Ekitike was yesterday. Alexander Isak is better than Ekitike, and he's more used to playing with wingers in that way.
Yeah, 100%. He's better than Ekitike. Think about it. To be honest with you guys, I swear to God, I was watching Ekitike yesterday. Okay, this kid is good. He is tall. He's good on the ball. Like he's not like he's not like Cisco. You know what I mean? Like he's not sluggish. He's so smooth on the ball, the dribbling, the pass, and I'm like, bro, this kid is good. If they get Isak, I don't know what is going to happen to him, but he is like, I think this guy can play false nine. Number one, he drifts to the wide area, is pretty damn good, passes the ball, picks up great positions. I think he's going to be one of the very, very good players. How many goals he's going to score? I don't know. 15.
He missed a couple, didn't he? He missed a couple as well. He could have had maybe 2, 3.
But the finish.
It was brilliant. It was brilliant.
Freaking amazing. Florian Wirtz, though.
I hope it explodes. I just hope Salah. Yeah, I hope Salah just fails this season. That's the Arsenal fan in me. If Salah doesn't play well, then hopefully there's a bigger chance of us winning the league. That's just.
If Salah doesn't play well, Liverpool are not winning the Premier League unless they get Alexander Isak. I
think the whole point now is that we're buying all the legs of it and Isak. So if Mohamed Salah doesn't play well enough, we've got people we can fall back on because last season we didn't have that.
I think Liverpool fans have put the older eggs on Isak's basket now. Like you're so sure that Isak is coming.
The football clubs put all the eggs in the Isak basket. They're not going for Barcola. They're going to let Rodrygo go. They're fully committed on the Isak thing. So
what if it doesn't happen?
It will
Fuck
happen.
then.
It will happen.
Okay, what if it doesn't happen?
If it doesn't happen, then we got a fucking lot of money that we got to spend very quickly.
They're like going by like 5 players for like 30 million, you know, 5 forwards together for 30 million.
Is Michael Antonio got a new club yet?
I was going to say, can I tempt you in a
Watch this space, man? He might rock up at mine with Dominic Calvert-Lewin at this rate.
Tom, can I since you got that money,
I don't want anyone to go attackers.
Can I interest you in a midfield general, like from guy? I mean, plays for Belgium. You know, the one and only Sambi Lokonga.
I'm all right, you know. Honestly,
they don't need midfielders to be on. They don't need midfielders. But listen, I'm gonna say that this Isak situation, bro, for Liverpool guys, like it is dragging, and I'm like watching yesterday bid in 72 hours. What is this? What, like they're waiting for Newcastle? Yeah, I know nothing you can do.
This is the only thing about it. I'd be on board with you if my football club were being the dickheads about it. But we've done everything we can do. At the end of the day, we're waiting for someone else to buy someone, and they failed.
You can bid 150. You can bid the 150, which is their asking price. They will sell him for 150.
But regardless of what their asking price is, they've sat there and said they won't sell him for any price until they've got the guy in.
I don't think they're going to get anybody, Tom. I think they're going to get
someone. They've got too long of a list.
Do you know how much Newcastle want for Jackson?
They won't pay 80. They'll get him for 60.
But that's too much for him.
But Newcastle don't have much of a choice now.
They do. They can keep Isak.
And do what? What if Isak says, I'm not going to play?
What? He can't do that. He's an employee of the club. He can't do this.
He can do.
No, he cannot.
He can do because he has done for the past month. He can do because he has done for the past month. He refused to play. And tries to follow through. Like this.
Does anybody here think that Isak can just say, I'm not playing?
I don't know if his contract will allow him to do so.
No, once the season starts, he'll play.
He has to play.
I think contractually it will be written in his contract, some sort of clause that they can invoke if he decides that he doesn't want to.
It's a World Cup year. He'll want to play. You know what I mean?
This is the thing, Joe. I get the World Cup year if it wasn't Alexander Isak for Sweden. No, but it's not like Sweden are going to say, "Oh, you haven't played much this year." We're not going to
the whole season, Tom. He's not going to go in.
No, I don't think he'll down tools for the whole season. I do think that look, I've actually been one of the ones that says there is a way he could stay at Newcastle, but the way everything's going at the minute.
An honest Liverpool fan.
No, but it's a Mo. It's about a 1% chance at this point because everything just the Newcastle journalists and the Newcastle people that were sitting there 2 weeks ago going, we're going to stand strong here, we're going to do this now. Going, he's kind of made it untenable. It's getting to the point where Newcastle might just need to let him go. I think it's going to happen. It might drag on for another week at this point. Who knows? It all depends on when they get their guy in. But I don't think Newcastle now are sitting there and going, you know what, let's just ride the storm and integrate him back in, because I think they'd only do that if they could get him to sign a new deal. And that's the one thing I definitely think.
I think that is the narrative that is running by some journalists, that he must sign a new deal for him to stay. He has 3 years left. He doesn't have to sign a new deal. They can keep him for 1 year, sell him next season. Like, why are we assuming that he has to sign a new deal? They can say, no, we're not signing a new deal. We're selling you next year.
Because it's all about PR, isn't it?
It is, which is exactly the point. It's all about
that's why they need
narrative.
That's why they need.
Me and Joe spoke about this the other day on Friday about he doesn't have to sign a new. He's under contract for 3 seasons.
No, logically, he's under contract, but
exactly, like he can say 1 year and be sold.
No, because it's not about. Tom. I know that's what could happen, but that's not the way they're looking at it. They're looking at it in the sense of if he signs a new contract, we'll have the release clause in there, so everyone knows he's going to go. But at least we can put to bed all the shit for a year. If he doesn't sign that new contract and gets brought back into the fold, we're not stupid on this panel. We know what every single Newcastle game would be like. Eddie Howe would be asked after every single game, what's going on with Isak? The player, if he's doing any interviews, would be asked what's going on with Isak. There's teammates who are just doing interviews about anything else would be asked what's going on with Isak. Do you want to know why I know this? Because it happened with my football club and Felipe Coutinho. It got to the point where we had to send either Oxlade-Chamberlain or Milner for every single one of the post-match interviews he done, so they could deflect the last question, which was always, "What's going to be your future?" Because everyone knew what was going to happen. I think he leaves. I think it's most people have said he'll leave. He has no interest in signing a new deal. Newcastle, by their journalists, have said the only way he can stay is if he signs a new deal with the release clause, so Newcastle can get some power back. I think all avenues point to he's going to go at some point. It's just when they get their guy in.
You know what? Me and Joe were talking about this, and Joe's saying Newcastle have the upper hand. Right, Joe? Like you were saying that, like 3 years. You gotta own, like it's 3 years. Like, what do you mean? Like he has to sign a new contract for Newcastle to get the upper hand? They already have the guy for 3 years. It's in their hands. If Newcastle come tomorrow and tell Isak, you are not leaving the club, he's obligated to play football. Obligated to play football. And it's not a choice. Otherwise, they're going to take him to FIFA. There's going to be a court. There's going to be a problem, a massive problem. When has the player said, I'm not playing football when the season starts? When?
There's only one player did that, Winston Bogarde for Chelsea. But he was contractually made to come and train. So he lived in the Netherlands and he had to fly to train every day.
And for the people that say that Isak is going to down tools, he's not going to down tools.
Coutinho refused to play in the summer of 2017.
And he played the season and he started the season brilliantly.
Yeah, he played after the transfer window shut. Now, I'm not saying that won't happen. I've not ruled that out with Isak. But the idea that the moment the season starts on Saturday, Alexander Isak he's
not going to play.
Obligated to be available.
Not going to play.
He's faked this thigh injury for about 3 weeks now that doesn't exist. I'm sure that thigh injury will reoccur again if he needs it to.
Yeah, but once the window's shut, he'll suddenly
once the window's shut, then he loses a lot of power. But
there's 19 days left in the window.
I just think it's going to be. I think everyone kind of knows it's going to happen at this point. It's just it's dragged on a lot because they couldn't get Ekitike, they couldn't get Joao Pedro, they couldn't get Cunha, they couldn't get fucking anyone who plays striker and had an element of interest. They couldn't get Sesko. They're going to have to get someone. I don't know who that is, whether it's Samu, whether it's Jackson, whether it's Shan Larson, whoever that is. They're going to have to get someone through the door. I know today they were linked with, what's his name? Cali Mwendo from Rennes. That's another one who, could be seen as that Alexander Isak replacement because it looks like they're going to get Johan Visser through the door. Once that happens, I think everything moves very quickly with Isak to Liverpool. I think most things are agreed on. I think he knows how much he's going to get paid. We know what we've got to pay transfer fee-wise for the most part. The clubs will have had informal discussions and figured out, right, this is the structure that we're going to go for. So once Newcastle get their striker through the door, I expect Alexander Isak to be a Liverpool player within 72 hours after that. It's just when that happens. The one thing I will say, I don't think it'll be a case where, like, I've seen a couple of people say this, Newcastle might delay until after we play them. They're not going to delay for like 2 weeks at this point.
They could.
But we wouldn't play Isak that game anyway because he's had no preseason because of this thigh injury. So we kind of need sometimes to ease him in.
But it's also it might also be a perception thing, i.e., like just the idea of him just turning off with the Liverpool team just doesn't sit right. And again, they've got money, so they can still buy players without having to sell Isak, right? So it's not a sell to buy.
So are we all set that if Isak joins Liverpool are heavily favorites? No, Dan, you haven't said a word, but fine. Heavily favorites.
Yes.
Your mic is bugging.
It's buzzing.
It's buzzing and bugging. Now it's good, I think. Like, do you agree with this, Tom? Like, you'd walk the league as well. Like,
I think with the favorite, I don't think we've got to embrace that pressure. At the end of the day, I think that this summer we've gone about addressing the problem areas that we had. So if I looked at last season, we won the league, but neither of our left backs were very good. We lost a right back who barely wants to defend anyway, and both our strikers scored a combined 12 goals between them in like however many appearances. So what we've done then is and our number 10 struggled creatively. He done a lot of running, but the number 10's output was always a little bit concerning. So instead, we've got the best young left back in the Premier League last season, one of the better right backs in world football in the last 2-3 years, two top as it stands, I'm including Isak in this. 2 top strikers in Ekitike and Isak to replace
Best right winger on earth.
We still got Salah. You had the best number 10 on the planet to sort out your output thing. It's fixed all the problems that we had.
He's not the best number 10 on the planet.
He is the best. He is the best number 10 on the planet. He has been for 2 years.
No, he has not.
He has
No,
been.
he's not. No,
Who
he's
is?
not. Palmer is
the same Cole Palmer. The same Cole Palmer went like 4 months last season without scoring.
Okay, without scoring. Okay, so how many goals are you expecting Wirtz to score then?
This season?
If you are judging Cole Palmer based on the goals, how many goals and assists you're expecting him to score now?
I expect minimum 30 GA from Wirtz this season.
Okay.
How much?
30 GA?
30.
3-0.
Yeah, in all. If we're playing 60 games this season, which is what Liverpool Football Club should be aiming to do by
That's
getting far in it.
Yesterday on the Lahwa with Osam, and I think on my show, I suggested that 20 GA is the minimum for him, because when you are the British record as a number 10, I'm expecting 20 GA. I'm expecting 25 to 30 GA, and I was called crazy. When you are arguably the best number 10 in the world, as Tom just alluded, so you're talking about only in the league, Tom, 30 GA.
No, not only in the league. I mean, all competitions. We're going to be
I
playing
only
Champions
talk about
League
the league. I only talk about the league.
It's suffered saying maybe like 20 in the league then, if you're doing just league.
But Palmer get that normally, like 20, like in the last 2 seasons.
That's fine. I'm not arguing that Cole Palmer. I've never said Cole Palmer's not been good. I've just said Wirtz has been
20 GA for a number 10 should be the average.
The difference though, man, when we compare the two is, in the nice possible way, Cole Palmer's the main guy at Chelsea. No one. Cole Palmer is number 1 option at Chelsea. Even though Florian Wirtz is showing Liverpool this summer, he's not number 1. Mohamed Salah is still the main guy in the Liverpool attack. He's still the guy that's going to be getting the majority of the football. So if come the end of the season, Cole Palmer has slightly better numbers than him, I'm not going to be shocked by that, because Cole Palmer will have had the Salah level of the football. Every Chelsea attack will go through him at some point. That wouldn't shock me. But for me, I just look at I look at the CV over the last couple of years. Florian Wirtz has won the Bundesliga as an invincible by being the best player in that team. He won a DFB Pokal as an invincible by being the best player in that team. The only game they lost that entire season was when he was practically injured in it, but shouldn't have really played.
Well, Jacob Murphy got 20 GA last season.
Jacob Murphy done well last season. But if I look at Florian Wirtz, he got 38 GA in 23-24 in all competitions and 31 GA last season. And that was in a Leverkusen team that I don't think is as good as the Liverpool team.
But the thing is, though, if
Jared Bowen has had back-to-back seasons with 20 plus GA, and are we saying that Wirtz has the same expectations as Jared Bowen? Is that and Jared Bowen is not a striker; he's a forward player. Are we having the same expectations for the most expensive player ever in English football?
And also to add to this as well is, if you're saying he's the best, right? So you're saying he's head above everyone else in that position, right? Which means also he's like top 11 players in the world, because there's only 11 positions on the pitch. Like the expectation for him has to be super high then.
I do have high expectations.
Yeah. So the GA thing, I think sometimes that can mask sort of like importance on the pitch, because Perlo, for example, was never like the highest in terms of GA, but in terms of being a conductor, was one of the best in the world, right? So I can sort of put the GA thing to one side. However, what I will say is this, and I said this about Cole Palmer last year, when everyone said he's the best number 10 in the league, and then his form dropped, and people said, "Oh, maybe he's not the best." It's like we are now creating. You're putting him to a pedestal that now everyone's going to look at, and if his performance isn't 10 out of 10 or 9 out of 10 every single game, that's going to be picked out. That's going to be talked about. So even if the GA doesn't sort of reach astronomical numbers, because I think Ronaldo and Messi sort of made things look crazy in terms of what they're hitting, his performance will have to be. It can't just be because Salah's on the pitch that he's not going to perform. He has to perform as well as Salah, because when I was younger, I saw Zidane and Figo on the same pitch, and Figo was the best winger in the world, and Zidane was the best player in the world, and they still both performed.
Mhm.
Ronaldo, when Ronaldo was on the pitch, he still performed. So you can't just hide behind the fact that Salah's not there. Sorry, Salah is there.
But we both know football discourse has changed. Now you're doing it the correct way in terms of even if he's not getting all the GA, he can still have a positive impact. I thought he had a really decent game yesterday in terms of when he was involved and what he could do. My point is, a lot of people just analyse football through the lens of GA now. So I'm saying that an explanation for why I think he can get 30 GA and he doesn't get it is because he's not the main guy in the team. I think that his overall performance levels shouldn't dip just because Salah's there, and I don't think they will dip because Salah's there. Because, like you said, the best football players just make it work when they've got good footballers around them. That's not a problem. So if I'm putting it's why this whole summer when everyone once we got Ekitike and people went, oh, what you even after Isak for? I'd have no problem playing Salah, Wirtz, Ekitike, and Isak all together because if you put 4 smart footballers on the pitch at the same time, they'll figure it out, and that's what they are. So I get what you're saying about the high expectations. I have the high expectations. I'm not someone who's going to sit there and this season try and go, oh, it's this, oh, it's that. No, we spent a lot of money this summer. We're Premier League champions. I expect us to retain and get more. We need to improve on what we've done last year. That's not a problem for me. And if we don't, then I've got to look at it and start asking questions about why we failed to do that. That's not a problem for me. I think that football fans, especially in Liverpool fans, need to embrace the fact that it's Liverpool Football Club back at the pitch. That we are the best team in England, the most successful team in England. That comes with a pressure. I know Jurgen Klopp has us as underdogs for a number of years, and that worked for Jurgen Klopp. But our manager now wants us to embrace the fact that we're the big dog. So let's embrace the fact that we have all this pressure on us and use it to push us on further. We spent a lot of money. We're going to break the British transfer record twice in one season. That's going to come with an amount of pressure that I think the football club needs to embrace.
No, I agree. My man here, thank you so much. My man, Foden is a year removed from player of the season, respectfully.
Sorry, yeah. So just in response to this, I did have one for you. Michu had a good season once, right? My point is, yeah, and I'm not comparing the two. No, just let me, I'm just having a bit of fun with that. But my point is the regard with which Foden's held to, it needs to be done consistently. You can't win player of season one season, then totally fall off the face of the earth the next. And then City fans will tell me, oh, Saka star boy. My man's consistent at least. So yeah, consistency is key in this conversation, I think.
Fair enough. Big up Mo and the panel, Tom. You're a fraud. I don't know why Liverpool why Tom is a fraud. He's speaking very sensibly today.
Fonzie didn't like
very sensibly. He's very sensible, guys. I don't know what is going on with that.
No, Tom is a fraud, man. Come on.
Can I ask Tom before to go in like 5-10 minutes? What about the other teams, Tom? Which team do you see are
Man City?
Why not Arsenal? Can I understand?
Arsenal there and thereabouts, but I have more of a problem with City because of the history of them and because I rate their manager higher, and that I think that City have one of only 2 or 3 game changers in the Premier League in Erling Haaland. When you've got a guy that can score you 40 league goals, no problem. That's a problem. That's a problem for all of us. We should all be sitting there worried that if they nail their team around Erling Haaland, very few teams can match that scoring output.
Do you think he comes back with a vengeance, Tom, this season?
I worry that Pep Guardiola's finally sat there and went, let's just build the system to give him the ball as much as possible.
Yeah.
That's why I'm shocked that they're letting Savio go, to be honest. Because Savio was the kind of guy that I thought would be ideal for this setup. Because Savio can go out on the right, beat his man, and put in dangerous deliveries for Haaland to get on the end.
But if they get Rodrygo, both Rodrygo and Marmoush are not players to assist and more direct players to score themselves.
No, I know that. That's having,
not Jack Grealish.
That's having the options. So City aren't going to say for 38 games we're going to do it this way. But when they play Doku, that's a guy who...
I don't think they have the capability to do that, Dom.
What? Funnel the ball to Erling Haaland?
I don't think that... Even Phil Foden is not a creative player. So let's imagine if Phil Foden... The only creative...
It's not about being creative.
No, but creative is like the one that is going to feed Erling Haaland.
Yeah, but you don't need to be creative to get lots of assists. All they need to do is put the ball in areas and Haaland will latch onto it. You don't need to be a good creator for Haaland to score goals because he's that good of a striker. He doesn't need you to create the perfect chance for him. If you create a half chance, he'll get onto it and score. And I just think City are going to, because now Kevin De Bruyne is gone, because Rodri's back in the team, which gives them a little bit more structure, what they can do is now tell everyone else the ball's going in that area. You do what you need to do to get it in that area, and Haaland will be there. And if it's not Haaland, it'll be Rodrygo. If it's not Rodrygo, it'll be Marmoush. They're gonna. I just worry that City are gonna put an immense amount of attacking threat into one area for Haaland. Arsenal, I think Arsenal are going to do very much the same. If Arsenal, albeit I haven't watched as much of pre-season of Arsenal, if Arsenal go back to the football that they played in 22-23, they are the favourites. They jump above City because that football Arsenal played with the players they have now, which are better than the team they had in that year, would be a dangerous combination. But because of the last couple of years and seeing mistakes Arteta has made and seeing just the nearly nature of Arsenal, I can't put them ahead of a team in City that I know have been there, done it, got the medals, got the experience for it. Chelsea, I have no idea on. Chelsea could be there, could be not. I'm very interested to see how they handle the fatigue from the Club World Cup. That's the one.
Can I just say something before we go? There is like information that popped in front of me in the last 2 minutes. Alexander Isak would only consider reintegrating at Newcastle or signing a new deal if Liverpool directly inform him the deal is impossible. Isak is waiting to see if Liverpool will bid again. The Premier League champions are waiting for Newcastle to give them the green light. That is one. Second one is that Ekitike's promising debut suggests that not all roads lead to St. James's Park when it comes to Liverpool finding
that one's just an opinion piece from fucking Basco.
It's an opinion?
That's bollocks. That's not actual news. That's just someone going, oh, we might not need to buy Isak. We can go spend that money on Barcola instead. No. We took Ekitike off the pitch yesterday and we had no fucking striker. What are we supposed to do if Ekitike can't play? We've clearly built a system around having a striker there so all these creative players can pass to someone and then we sit there and play without the striker. It's not going to make sense. We're spending a lot of money on a striker, but it needs to be a striker. At the end of the day, going into this summer, Alexander Isak was the dream target. On the 11th of August, Alexander Isak is still my dream target because there's very few strikers on the planet better than him, and I want to buy best in class. If I was to ask everyone on this panel which strikers on the planet are
nobody is similar to him. Nobody.
No.
Erling
Haaland, Harry Kane.
Yes, unattainable, both.
Yeah, I'm just saying ability-wise. Which strikers on the planet, ability-wise, are
nobody?
Alexander Isak?
Only Isak. Even I think even Isak is better than Erling Haaland, but that's my opinion.
Kane's
overall footballer, yes. The scoring goals, no.
Lewandowski.
He hasn't proven yet. He hasn't proven to be a better goal scorer than Erling Haaland. Erling Haaland has the record of the Premier League.
Yeah,
in my opinion, I can watch Isak and I know that Isak can be a 30 plus goal scorer forward. I know that if he's getting the service that Haaland is getting, I believe that Isak can do that. And also as a forward as well, I believe that Isak is not only can be a 30 plus goals, I believe that Isak can get you 25 plus 10 assists. Because I believe that Isak creates the chances for himself and for his teammates. That's why I believe he's a better player overall, even as a forward.
I think he's a more complete striker than Haaland.
Yeah, thank you so much. But people don't want to believe that.
It's hard to take away though what Haaland does because when you look at a striker,
100%.
If your striker's scoring goals, you don't really have many complaints. And Erling Haaland scores goals to such an obscene level that you can kind of look past the fact that his passing might not be as crisp. Because it doesn't matter if he's passing the ball or not. If he's putting it in the back of the net 50 times a season, he could. I wouldn't care if my striker couldn't pass a football to save his life if he was scoring 2 goals a game. That's the be all end all. So I still have Haaland. I have Haaland ahead of him. I have Kane ahead of him. But then it's Alexander Isak at third for me. I'm not going to turn down the opportunity to sign the third best striker on the planet this summer, especially for the position where last year we struggled in. So this whole notion that Liverpool should just walk away from it's not going to
No,
happen.
you shouldn't
I
walk
think
away.
I
You
think
should
we're
win again.
going to go for it. And the Ben Jacobs one, like I said, we're on this stupid merry-go-round where we're waiting for someone who's waiting for someone who's waiting for someone who's waiting for someone.
It's stupid, isn't it? It's stupid.
We're waiting for some domino somewhere to fall, to knock another domino, which then allows us to put our one down. Up until that happens, there's nothing we can do.
You sound like fucking me.
Can I before we go on, can I just say one thing which might be a little bit controversial? I think we are reaching a stage where we are slightly now overrating Isak past what he really is. I think so. I think the way people talk about him is as if he's done something on a level that we've seen with, let's say, like a Lewandowski or Mbappe, in terms of just the number of shared goals he scored and impact. I think obviously he's a really, 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 really good player, but I think that we're reaching a point where we're overrating. And when I say overrating, that's not saying that he's a bad player. That's saying that what he is in comparison to what people say he is. I'm like, I know I've watched Isak, but I don't remember him being R9. And the way sometimes people talk about him is like I'm watching R9. But again, I told you, controversial take.
He's not R9, and no one said he's R9. No one said he's R9.
The thing is, you've got to understand, for me, I used to watch Darwin Núñez last season. So anyone who's got an ounce of intelligence and footballing ability looks like R9 compared to him. So it's like, I'm going to pick these guys up. Hugo Ekitike, you know Hugo Ekitike's performance yesterday? Watching him control the football, beat a man, take a well-taken goal. That's like someone who's been in a desert for months now, finding a well with water. I saw a striker with technical ability. I saw a striker who can hold up the ball and bring others into play. Like, it was perfect. It's what we need.
Yeah,
so, Tom, you watch basketball, don't you?
Mm-hmm.
So there's a player that played with Kobe Bryant called Kwame Brown, and he was so bad. And then he got traded for a guy called Paul Gasol, and Kobe said, I passed the ball to him and he caught it. And he was like, my life has changed. He just caught the ball. That's it. So I understand the Darwin.
It was like, I went from to a striker who can do the job. That's the thing. Oh my God. That's why I don't really care about the results. I saw enough what I need to see.
Yeah, 100%. Big up the corrupt judge, the panel, and the chat. Little Tom, you are on a fraud watch this season. Why?
People have
everyone likes to shoot the man at the top, don't they? That's the fact.
Yeah, 100%.
Do you know what? When Ben Doak stays Liverpool and smashed it this season to back up to Salah, people will be going at me with me.
Oh my God!
Yo, we've been linked to Ben Doak for 20 million.
I don't want you to sign. I really wanted to keep Ben Doak this season.
I don't want to sign him, mate. He's a good player, very good player, but we need oven ready, man, not projects. Like, he is quality. He was mint at Borough last season. He's a top player. He'll go do bits, but Leeds United need ready now, man.
I think any team that gets Ben Doak have got a real player there. I think the only problem that you need to worry about with him is injuries. If you can keep him fit, his development will just go like that, because he's got everything you want from a winger. He's quick, he's direct in nature, he's very good close control. His final ball's a little bit iffy, but that's going to happen when you're, 19, 20?
Mo, you know, I because I listen to other fans' shows, and I listen to Coppish, right? And Tom knows what I'm about to say right now, because
it was a moment.
What? So he said this Ben Doak teaser, who I've actually never seen before. He said he's the top most the second most creative winger in football.
I meant young winger. I meant young winger. I meant young winger. So there's a stat out there. Out there for under 20 wingers. It's Lamine Yamal, it's Ben Doak, and it's a massive gap beyond that to anyone else.
But the what made it so funny was that he said it.
So Lamine Yamal and Ben Doak in one category, guys, and then the next category is everyone
Ben Doak, who was at Middlesbrough last season.
Ben Doak's creative numbers in the Championship were ridiculous.
Championship.
The Championship's a great league.
Yeah, he's man. We just won it. Come on.
But very tough league.
This is ridiculous.
The Championship here.
This is ridiculous.
The best part
didn't Milan win the Championship? No, they couldn't.
There you go, Mo. It's for this. That is why.
But then the best part was that he said he didn't say it, and they had to VAR it, and he said it
I did say
in
it.
pure 4K, the second most creative winger in football.
I know that Tom has to go, so big up Tom. We're just not
Big up,
staying for long.
boys.
Big up Tom.
Peace.
Nice to see you, bro.
I know he has to go. I don't think Dan actually his mic is not working. He just texted me just to let you guys know. He just texted me, and I don't think he can join. I'm gonna do this. Okay. See,
Oh, there we go.
Is there- I wanted to touch on Arsenal and Gyökeres and the debut with you guys. And how do you guys see Arsenal finally playing? Is that now the Arsenal that we wanted? I know Joe. I probably didn't watch the game, Joe.
No, I didn't, man. No.
Okay, I mean, I could talk on it. It was better than the game before. I still have an issue with the fact that Arsenal still seem to concentrate a lot of their attacks through the wings, which I understand. You spread the pitch more, you get more space in the middle, right? But it still very much feels that we need to get the ball out wide. And I know, like, I've heard like Don on other shows talk about going through the middle, like it's hard for Arsenal to do so. And I think there is a lot of work that still needs to be done. But I'll say the performance was better. Zubimendi, again, preseason game. We don't want to take it too far in terms of what it is, but just seeing a guy who can sort of move the ball very quickly, and it was like watching, I don't know, like Cazorla for us, like that sort of ability just to move the ball very quickly, move the ball to where he wants it to go. Not as good a dribbler as Cazorla was, obviously, but just that sort of being able to know where the game is going. I think that's interesting and was good to see. And obviously Gyökeres got his goal, which was a good goal. I still have an issue with the fact that he does look a bit top heavy, but I think he's just that build. He's going to be a bit like Haaland for us, where he's never going to look the greatest on the ball. Watching him try to run with the ball is funny, to be honest. But he's got a knack for scoring goals, and it was a good header. I hope that we can create more chances. I hope we could create more chances where the ball isn't just have to be in the air for him to score. Because in terms of actually getting a clear shot on goal, there was only really one, which was a cutback from Saka.
Is it right that he didn't score a headed goal all last season, and then he comes to Arsenal and he scored a headed goal?
Apparently so. Apparently so. But to be fair, the ball that came in from Zubimendi was with so much pace that all he had to do was just. I mean, it was still a great header and it was still a great run across the defender. But all he had to do was just get the ball on target, and the pace of the ball would just continue the flight. One of those headers where you just use the pace of the ball to guide it into the net, as opposed to you having to put power onto it. So yeah, I mean, the ball made it easy for him.
Big test in it. Your opening game, Man United. They, if you see some of what they're doing now, they're all getting a little bit overhyped, a little bit excited. So that's going to be some game.
Winning. You see them winning at Old Trafford.
Who, Arsenal?
Yeah?
Yeah, I would say so, mate. Yeah, so. You don't think? I do, man. Yeah. Saka's back, Zubimendi right. I
don't think it's the end of the world, though. When I'm saying that, I don't think it's the end of the. I don't think it's going to be the end of the world at all. If
it will be in the Arsenal fan base. My God,
no, it won't. Arsenal don't win at Old Trafford. They just don't.
We do.
They won more recently.
Until last year, we'd won. I think it was 2 seasons in a row. It was just last year was the first time we drew.
We'll see, but I actually think this Arsenal team look good now. I still think the left winger is a massive problem for them, to the point that I'm really screaming, if I'm an Arsenal fan, fucking start Madueke. Don't start Martinelli. Start Madueke. Give him a chance. Let me see what Madueke can do. And then if it doesn't work, sub in Martinelli.
I think you sub Martinelli.
Bro, I know that he would. But if it was me, I would scream, start Madueke.
And listen, Mo,
he's more direct. He offers more. He can cater to Gyökeres. He can cater to Saka. He can cater to Odegaard or even Declan Rice later on. Martinelli is just now he is reaching a point where I don't know how to explain it in English, but we have this say, like he's a train or like a donkey that just runs and not knowing where he's going. Bro, how many times he'll just drive with the ball towards the byline and not do anything or walk the ball outside the pitch? I don't know what is happening to this kid.
Yeah.
I was
So
speaking to an Arsenal fan yesterday, and he said, we thought that Martinelli would go up from that season. And I'm like, what happened? How did he turn out to be that shit?
he got injury, but to be fair, like I always said, Martinelli would be such an amazing player if he just knew how to do one thing, which is just look up. Like literally, don't look at the ball, just look up. At least even for a second, you'll be so much better. The reason why I think he's going to play Martinelli is that, I mean, we'll see how he does with Gyokeres now, but the only player that really runs beyond the last man that we have right now is him. Like Saka, mostly the ball comes to feet because you're trying to get into one-on-one positions against like the left back. I think he's the only one right now that we have who will sort of hang on the shoulder of the last man and make that movement attempt to run into space. So that's the reason why I'll play him, because I think I would play him. That's the reason why I think Arteta will play him, as opposed to Madueke, who wants to be the ball in front of the defender, right? He's not going to try to run in behind that much. So I think you would want that sort of balance between both of them. I just think Martinelli, like, he's not the solution to anything anymore, because I think he's fallen off significantly.
I don't know what is happening to them, to be honest, Martinelli. Like, Mo talk about Chelsea as well. I'm just gonna tell you something, my friend, about Chelsea. Dan couldn't fix his mic, by the way. He said like he couldn't fix it. He just texted me. For Chelsea, I think people should watch out for Chelsea, to be honest with you. Like, watch out. Like, are they gonna win the league? No, but they're gonna be a problem. If this guy João Pedro is on point and they lap, I think Chelsea will score a lot of goals. They still need a center back. They need that center back. It's not going to continue like this. You know, Chalobah's injured, Korol is injured. They need a center back. I think Chelsea are going to be very, very good this season. And I think people are underrating them still. People are not taking them seriously. Some people said they're going to be
I disagree. I think everyone is taking them seriously now. I don't think anyone, if you ask any fan, do you think Chelsea are not that good? I think you'd have to be a hater for you not to say, this is not a good Chelsea team. And you're talking about a guy who thought that it would take him at least 2 or 3 more years to sort of reach that level. And I have to admit it as well. I think this idea of underdogs doesn't fly anymore. We know how good this Chelsea team can be. We've seen it.
You're not convinced, Joe. I know that.
No, I am. Like, I was listening. I probably owe apologies to Maresca because I didn't rate him all that much from his time at Leicester. Obviously, we were in competition with him. I didn't think it would go well at Chelsea. And to be fair to him, he's done a good job. What they did to PSG was top notch. And I think the signings, the approach they've got, it's working for them. At the end of the day, even when they've done this Moneyball approach and brought in, they're still getting money for them back as well. Like, look at Nicholas Jackson, they're flipping it. You know, they're doing it all. So I think as a pair, João Pedro and Delap, I proper rate Delap. Like, so I think, and João Pedro, we know how good he is anyway. And he showed already, Club World Cup and in pre-season, he knows where the back of the net is. So that has a pair's quality. I think Palmer is ready to go as always. Enzo, he's just got better and better. Caicedo, we know how good he is. Romeo Lavia, I don't know what his injury issue is now at the minute. Is he good to go? But they've got a very good side. Cucurella, after they were calling him all names, we see the player that we...
He's still a rat, though.
I hear what you're saying, but do you remember, like, obviously he came from Brighton, he was flying, then and now he's like a player. So yeah, they've got a good side. I get the need for a centre back, but it is, you can't.
You don't have any.
No, but have you seen the list of the names they still do have? I know they're not deemed good enough.
But Chile, Fofana, Tosin, Achimpong, Hato, Disasi.
Loads.
Yeah, I know.
But they're not good. I get they're not good enough. But my point is, they've got I've got 3 at my football club. They've got like 7 that they don't even deem good enough. So it's like, what's going on here? But that's what happens when you got the money, man.
Yes, fair enough. My man here is saying, thank you so much for the super chats, guys. Thank you so much for supporting the channel. Martinelli at his best was also not a creator from the left. He plays well when the number 9 switches with him and he goes central. This was always true in 22-23 with Jesus, Eddie, and Trossard. Fair enough. But I don't think he's going to be the striker now because this guy has it. And
I agree with the 9 being like, and this is why it'd be interesting to see how we play with Gyokeres because Gyokeres isn't Jesus. Jesus was more of a creative 9, right? And Gyokeres is just wants to put the ball back in net. But I think actually, if you go back and watch a lot of how Arsenal played that first season that we finished second, Xhaka was really high up the pitch, and so that gave Martinelli sort of someone to work with. I think as much as I love Rice doesn't stay that high up, so Martinelli had to try to do things by himself, and I think he's just not very bright when it comes to dribbling. He's just got one move, and it gets stopped quite easily now.
What about Havertz? He's gonna have competition, and now he's gonna score goals.
Do you know what's interesting about that goal? I'll say this, right? And listen, I've always said Havertz, his best sort of attribute is his movement. Like he finds pockets of space, which is quite good. But anyways, that pace he showed, but it wasn't just pace; it was running power, basically, right? That basically like he picked up speed, but when he came to his finishing last year, and the perfect example is go and watch the game against Brighton when we drew 1-0 at home, and he had a chance where he ran through on goal, and the player closed him down, and he fell over and just like hit the ball very weakly. That extra bulk he's put on, I'm hoping anyways, because it's only one game, I'm not going to overreact. I'm just hoping that extra bulk he's put on has increased his running power, and it means that when he gets into those positions, he's less flustered by the defender, basically.
Yeah, fair enough. My man here said also
in some games you'll need him. It's different strokes for different folks.
When he keeps going more central and doesn't always have the pressure to beating his man on the left, he often beats his man when he needs by pace. I don't think he's useful as much as you think for a title-winning team now.
So, someone said to me, "You don't know anything about Gyokeres." Yes, you are right. I am not watching sports in Lisbon all season. I only watched him play one game, which was against Arsenal. I didn't watch the Man City game, so I know nothing about him. I'm theorizing what I hope will happen with him. So if you know him better than me, please let us know.
Now, listen, people, I am back at 6:30 this afternoon. This show is going to take you to Sam's show, but also Joe's going live now. Just a Joe football show is going live. What are you talking about?
To be honest, mate, we've been rejected by another player, Callum Mwendo. We've been linked to Nico Gonzalez.
So how is Sunderland getting all these people and getting rejected?
Do you know what? They've got a good recruitment team, clearly, and obviously the manager, Reggie Lebris's got a good knowledge of the French market. So it is what it is. But Nico Gonzalez, Juve has been linked. We still want Muniz from Fulham, but I just think it's going to be difficult to do. But if you want Europa Conference League, Leeds United news, then come over and watch it.
Joe,
yes,
can I interest you in a midfielder?
I will take Trossard. I will take Trossard. Belgium, not.
He's Belgian. He's got great potential. We'll do a deal for 70 million.
We'll see how it goes. But listen, people, I want to thank everyone that is here. Just a Joe football show in the description, so go and support Joe, of course. Also, Dan is here. Tom is channel in the description as well. I will see you guys back in the channel here. So be back here at 6:30, and we are out of here, people.
Peace.